Hello serverless people, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but now I'm back creating videos on serverless and AWS in general. In this video, I want to focus on a real scenario architecture, and actually I want to give a big shout out to Sam Williams and his project called Complete Coding. I will link all the details in the description of this video, but if you want to try and create your own architecture challenge, I invite you to join this the serverless masterclass newsletter. And I think it will be great. Like the more we are, the better. So let's get started and see what this challenge is. The idea of this video is to show you my way of thinking and like my architecture, and then see if I get some comments on how I can improve it and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm gonna create more videos about this challenge because I think in the future Sam will give like questions. So it will be kind of a series based on these challenges. So yeah, let's get started. The idea is to have an architecture design for a holiday rental management. So here you get all the details about the business. A founder is being contacted by a woman who runs a holiday rental business. She has 8 properties and blah blah blah. I will leave the description to you to read, and I will go directly to the functionalities. So the idea is to have the ability to manage properties. Obviously, it's like create, read, update, delete set of attributes for the properties. Also being able to store images, manage calendar for given property, and how the property has to be connected to holiday rental platforms. So let's have a look on the functionality. So you have to have the ability to manage properties. So like basic functionalities on the property and also store images. Ability to manage the calendar for a given property. So owners can view current bookings, set prices, and block dates if the property is unavailable. When changes are made, they are distributed into the connected holiday rental platform. So yeah, here is like, I think the idea is to have a connection with, the top third-party holiday platforms. It can be Booking, Airbnb, those ones. And there needs to be control so the property owners can access each other's properties. Property owners can invite other people to help manage the properties in the app, okay? And yeah, here is like you can connect the application to the top 3 holiday rental platforms. Each platform has its own API with API key. And they also allow you to listen to a webhook every time there's a new booking on their platform. Because the idea here is to have the guest to be able to book from the property page or from third-party applications. Each property owners get their own subdomain. So if a new owner subscribes to the service, they get his own subdomain, and they can also connect their Stripe account. Here is the visitor booking process. So as I said before, visitors can book through one of 3 holidays rental platforms, and visitor can also book directly on the subdomain site. Payments for this are handled by Stripe Connect. Okay, that's great. Visitor gets a booking confirmation. Okay. Then we have cleaners need to be booked for the afternoon when the visitors leave. So assume there's an API for this. Okay, and also there needs to be cancelled if a booking is cancelled. And here we have some kind of automation. So 10 days before, send this reminder. After the visit, get the cleaners to confirm the property wasn't damaged and send an email and blah, blah, blah. And all the properties have key boxes with code locks. So we need to send the code the day of the check-in. And also we also need to change the code every time there is a checkout. In this way, the code is different every time for every visitor, and it's more secure basically. Then we also have non-functional requirements. So web application needs to be quick, HTTPS, okay, and here we have some like data on the initial users. So with this in mind, I actually summarize these elements on my schema in here. So here is like, the requirements based on Here are the requirements divided by properties and visitor booking process. And based on this, I created my architecture. So I'm gonna go through the architecture and see if it makes sense to you. And hopefully I haven't forgotten anything from the requirements, but the idea that I had in mind, and obviously this is like kind of higher level. So visitors can visit the property. Let's start from the visitors. So let's start from the property owners first. The idea is that the client-side application is hosted on S3, which is backed by Amazon CloudFront, so I can enforce HTTPS. And I can think of like a classic client-side application, maybe a single-page application with React, Vue, or wherever, or even like a simple one with just JavaScript and HTML, CSS. So the idea is that the property owners, every time there's a new owner that wants to subscribe to the platform, I imagine that I add a new record through Amazon Route 53. And this new subdomain refers to the specific property. For each owner, I have a user pool on Cognito, so the owners use Cognito to log in into the website. And I use this, I'm differentiating between user pools to be sure that there is no way that an owner can access another property. So I am dividing concerns here with different user pools. And this shouldn't be a problem with service quotas on Amazon Cognito. So property owners, yeah, every time there's a new property owners, I add a subdomain record on Route 53. And I also connect the Stripe account of the owner. And here I design a S3 bucket if they want to upload images of their properties to the website. So they go through the client-side application, as I said, CloudFront plus S3. Obviously, they're not going to type the CloudFront URL, but they're going to type the Route 53 URL, which then points to the CloudFront distribution. And then here I design the API, let's say, API services, which are backed by an API gateway. And then we have the CRUD operations. So create reservation, get single reservation, update and delete reservation. And I thought about this Lambda function to be protected again with JWT with Cognito. And every time there's an action on these APIs, I create a record on DynamoDB or update, delete the record, depending obviously on the operation. And since the requirements were that guests can also book through third-party platforms, I represented third-party platforms in here, like for example, booking an Airbnb. But the idea is that every time there's a new record on DynamoDB, I enable DynamoDB streams, which basically is like, you can think about the DynamoDB streams as like a queue. So every time there's like a new record or an update or a delete, I populate this queue and I sync in here. I sync the new reservation or the updated reservation to third-party platform. And this has like a delay of max 1 minute. So that's perfect for having, I'm not going to use TTL or something like that because it's not guaranteed. The trigger is not guaranteed in, let's say, very few minutes. It's like 48 hours, for example. But with DynamoDB streams, I should be able to trigger all the changes in almost instantly. And here I also added the Amazon SES, which is the email service, simple email service. So every time there's a new reservation, I'm going to trigger an email to get a booking confirmation. But if we go back to the third-party platform, the idea is that also if the guest book through the third-party platform, here is like the webbook if reservations are made. Let me zoom in. Webbooks if reservations are made for third-party platform, and it goes back to the Amazon API gateway, and here is the Lambda function for bookings from third-party platforms, and then we save it in Dynamo. So hopefully we have the reservation synced. Either the visitor book from the main page of our service, or if they book from third-party platform. So with this design in mind, I think we kind of have these requirements handled. This requirement handled. And yeah, talk about user pools. Here is just the visitors. They can visit the property going through the same landing page basically. And whereas here I added a few scheduler because based on the reservation, we have some schedule events. The first one is like a check. So if there is a check-in in 10 days, so let's say I have a reservation in 10 days, have this scheduler that runs every day and basically query DynamoDB to check, okay, give me the reservations that are starting in 10 days. For those ones, I'm sending a confirmation email with I think it was the requirement was like the 7 days free cancellation and something like that. But basically the idea is to have scheduler running every day and pull reservations based on the event. So in this case is give me reservation starting in 10 days. And this one is give me reservation ending today. So I am scheduling the cleaner. So let's go through it. Give me reservation ending today, so I can get the reservation list and book the cleaners through an API. And this is the scheduler again. And also here is the scheduler for the door keys. Again, runs daily, give me check-in for the day and send out door keys. And that's it. Actually, that's I'll say the first version of the architecture. So if I go through the non-functional requirements, we have almost everything. So we have CRUD operations, store images done, connect to third party done, manage a calendar. I think this is more like on the client side up, so I'm not focusing on this. Each property has its own subdomain. We have it. Their Stripe account. I didn't go through the details because I'm not super knowledgeable about Stripe, but probably we need something more like a sort of like having the owner being able to create their own URL using Stripe, I guess, and then kind of add a webhook on the Stripe account. I think that's the part missing. So every time there's like a new payment successful, I should update the DynamoDB table basically. And then for the visitor booking process, we have, visitor can book third-party platforms, can book property website, data is synced, we have it, confirmation email, we have it, cleaners is done, cleaners also in this one is done, and then we have the schedulers with 10 days before email, cleaners confirm we have it, the account is changing every time. So yeah, this is like the architecture. You can actually find the code on the GitHub repo that are forked from St. Williams. So again, I encourage you to join this challenge because I think it's very, you learn a lot of stuff. I have to, review loads of concepts, so it's super cool. And all right, let me know what you're thinking in the comments and stay tuned for the next review. Thanks for watching and speak soon.